Hey guys, Brian Taylor here, owner of Dreamline Realty right here in Charlotte. And hey guys, what a wild ride it's been over the last probably 7 to 10 days. We've had a lot of stuff going on. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, including mortgage rates and inflation data. We're going to talk about Realtor.com's revised mid-year forecast. So there's some very interesting things in that report. And finally, the question I have today is, are baby boomers driving the housing market right now? So stay tuned to an article I'm going to share with you some very interesting stats about that generation. So guys, let's start out with what's happening with inflation and other economic news. Here's what we're going to do. Actually, let's talk about what's happening right here in Charlotte first. I'm going to keep this brief. No numbers, no charts, none of that stuff today. But here's what's happening in Charlotte with 3 simple bullet points, which has not changed in several weeks. Number 1, low inventory. Number 2, rising home prices. And number 3, multiple offers. So there you go. That's it, right? Nothing has changed in Charlotte over the last probably 6 weeks to 8 weeks, all right? Nothing different. But I do have a video coming out next week breaking down all of the June data. So stay tuned for that. That should be out here in just a couple of days. So back to inflation and other economic news, because this might actually be the driver where the market picks up momentum either way. And you may have heard last week that the ADP jobs report was released on July 6th, and it shows that 497,000 new jobs were created in the month of June, which was double the 220,000 jobs that were expected. Now, this news was bad news for inflation because with more jobs being created, more people have money to spend, which leads to prices staying higher. So with that news, guys, mortgage rates skyrocketed past 7%, and we actually landed at 7.22%, a number that we haven't seen since last November. And what made things even worse in the market is it further confirmed that the Fed was likely going to keep raising rates at least through 2023. So now let's fast forward just a week to yesterday's CPI number, or the Consumer Price Index, okay? Now, this is one of the Fed's favorite indexes because it gauges how consumers like you and me how much we're paying for goods and services. And as you can see here from CNBC, it says inflation rose just 0.2% in June, less than expected as consumers get a break from price increases. It goes on to say that the inflation fell to its lowest annual rate in more than 2 years. Now, if you recall back to June of 2022, year-over-year inflation was at 9%, and now it is down to 3%. So the bottom line is that the Fed rate hikes are working, maybe not as quickly as some would have hoped, but they are working. And with this news yesterday, mortgage rates reversed course and fell back below 7%, and they ended up at 6.96. However, even though we are still making progress on this, I think it's still very likely that we're going to see another 1 or 2 rate hikes before the end of the year. And keep this in mind, mortgage rates are going to be extremely volatile until we know that the Fed is done. So expect some sharp peaks, expect a couple valleys in there, but mortgage rates are going to be a little volatile. If you're a baseball fan, I like to think of it like this. Let's assume that we are in the 8th inning and we are very close to the end of the game. So we don't have a whole long way to go, but we are definitely getting to a place where rates are going to be coming back down. So that actually leads me to Realtor.com's mid-year update. And here are a few of their predictions. Number 1, they're saying mortgage rates have been revised modestly lower to reflect the steep drop in late 2022 that carried over into 2023. It says inflation is expected to cool only gradually. Mortgage rates will follow suit with a gradual decline beginning mid-year, which is now. That could bring rates near 6% by year end. Now, I have said this before in several of my other videos. I've been predicting rates to get back into the high 5% range by Q1 or Q2 at the latest of next year. So we'll have to see how that goes, but it appears to be other people are feeling the same way that I've been feeling, and I hope that is the case very much. So their point number 2 here in their forecast, point number 2 is home price growth continues to cool, but affordability has been a more substantial drain on demand, especially in the West. And as a result, they revised their home price forecast from growth to decline with a modest 0.6% slip for 2023 as a whole. Now, as far as Charlotte, guys, this is not the case. We have been seeing home prices increase every single month from February, as you can see right there. Every single month we are going higher on the median home price. So that is definitely something different here that's happening in other places of the country. And finally, they're saying home sales are still expected to register lower with a decline of 15.8% for 2023. Now, this would mean a total of roughly 4.2 million home sales for the year, which is the smallest annual total since 2012. So guys, like I said, I'm not going to get into all the details of Charlotte. I'm saving that from my next video. So make sure that you get set up to watch that. And if you want to continue to track this crazy housing market with me, make sure you subscribe to the channel and tap on that bell for notifications. And if you're enjoying this video, do me a big favor and hit that like button as well. So now let's talk about this article pertaining to baby boomers. Now this is quite fascinating. It says baby boomers and their cash are driving the housing market right now. As other buyers shy away from higher mortgage interest rates, older generations with plenty of home equity are doing just fine and giving their children a leg up too. So it says, so who is driving the current market rebound? To a large degree, it's all cash buyers. These individuals are able to sidestep mortgage rates entirely and purchase a home outright at cost. Now, last month, the real estate data group Redfin reported the share of all cash purchases had increased to 1/3 of the entire US housing market, the highest level since 2014. It says, while the demographics of these buyers may be mixed, there are overwhelming evidence that some baby boomers are an economic force behind these cash purchases, experts say. Some cash sales are coming from millennials, but they may be borrowing from the bank of mom or dad or a relative, said Taylor Marr, Redfin Deputy Chief Economist. Marr added that the home ownership rate of Generation Z adults, which are ages 18 through 27, has already surpassed the rate of Generation X, ages 44 to 59, who owned homes when they were still in their 20s, a phenomenon also attributable to an older generation stepping in to help their kids become homeowners. Some of these boomers have benefited from skyrocketing values of their homes, which has led to historically high levels of housing wealth. It goes on to say that whether a baby boomer is in the buyer's market, looking to downsize, or supporting a dependent, it is this group that has allowed the housing market to remain buoyant. In fact, the National Association of Realtors said in March that baby boomers now make up 39% of homebuyers, the most of any generation, and an increase from 29% last year. So there you go, guys. Drop in the comments below and let me know what you think. Do you think that this baby boomer generation is the generation that is driving the housing market? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. All right, guys, that's it for today. If you need my help in your home search or you want to talk about your situation, scan that QR code or click the link in the description below. Set up some time on my calendar. We can meet on Zoom, put a face to a name, and talk about your situation and your time frame. And if you want to watch some of the neighborhood tour videos that my team has been working on, you can check them out right here at the end of this video. And hey, if new construction is your thing, don't forget to check out our other channel at Brand New Charlotte Homes, and there's a link right below that'll take you right over there. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and as always, make it a great day.